right, so now let's talk about um, an active lifestyle. So we're going to talk about your systems, your body systems. Um, Basically, your body is made up of systems, and your systems are made up of organs. Your organs are made out of tissues, not like Kleenex tissues, but tissues. Blood is a tissue, fat is a tissue, bone is a tissue, all the different kinds of tissues, body tissues. And then tissues are made up of cells. All right. And so we'll talk about each type of that, but we're going to start at the broadest category there. And that would be, can you shut that door? And that would be your body systems. We're just going to kind of do an overview of it. And if you'll look on page 65, is where we're going to just basically be looking at page 65 today. And of course, your body is very, very complex, and there's lots and lots of parts of it. But all of those systems coordinate together, just like you can't have the respiratory system without the cardiovascular or the circulatory system, and you can't have muscles without bones, or it'd just be a big old blob in the floor, or you can't really have bones without muscles, or we wouldn't have any way to move them. Um, you could digest things, but if you can't get rid of the extra waste, then, you just be a pile of waste. So anyways, they all kind of work together, and they're kind of overseen by the nervous system. So let's look at the nervous system first. The nervous system is basically your brain, your spinal cord, and your nerves. And your brain and your spinal cord kind of are telling your body what to do, how to react. It receives messages constantly throughout the day, throughout every minute, and then it sends messages back. Just like if you were to put your hand on something really hot and you just automatically jerk away, then your body has sent your sense receptors, your temperature receptors. Those have sent a message basically to your spinal cord, and your spinal cord immediately has been trained to tell your body to move that hand, and of course then that tells those certain muscles to move, and it controls things. And of course, some of it's automatic controlling, like our heartbeat and our breathing and even our blinking. For the most part, is just automatic, and that's all controlled by the nervous system. So the control system is the nervous system. Right, then you have the respiratory and circulatory systems. Let's talk about those first. The respiratory system is also known as your breathing system. All right, so your lungs, your nasal passages, and your trachea to be able to take your air down there, your bronchi and bronchioles, all of that kind of thing. But the purpose of the respiratory system is to supply your body with oxygen and to get rid of the carbon dioxide, the gas, the waste gas there. So it eliminates that as it builds up through our body. So that's our respiratory system, our breathing system. Remember, our nervous system was the control system. And then our circulatory system is our transport system, or blood system, if you want to think of it that way. It transports nutrients, water, and oxygen to every living cell in our body. And sometimes it will say something about remove waste from it. And whenever people see that word waste, they automatically think, oh, that's the digestive system, or that's the excretory system. No, when it's talking about the cellular level, removing waste from the from the cells, then it's a circulatory system. So it transports nutrients, water, oxygen to every living cell, but then it removes the carbon dioxide, the waste products, from every cell as well. So that's going to include all your blood vessels, your heart, so your arteries, veins, that kind of thing. This is just an overview. We'll get into it a little bit more later, and then next year we'll get into it even more. And then you have your muscular and your skeletal systems, which kind of go hand in hand. Like I said, your circulatory and your respiratory system kind of go together. And then your skeletal system and muscular system go together. And so your skeletal system, it provides support and rigidity to your body. So I'm going to call it the support system. And it enables you to be able to sit up straight, to just not be just a big old blob, moving around on the floor. And then the muscular system is responsible for all movement. If it's voluntary, like me moving my hand right now, all that, and then, or involuntary. So my heart constantly beating, that would be that involuntary muscles. Even my eyes blinking, there's little muscles in there that constantly cause it to do that as well. Your diaphragm is in the bottom of your below your belly. They're basically below your stomach, and it allows below your lungs there, and it allows you to help breathe, and all of that. Your stomach is lined with muscle, smooth muscle there, and it helps to kind of turn around your food and move it around and mix it up and that kind of thing. So lots of muscles that we don't even realize that we have, that we're using constantly, that we don't even realize it. It's automatic, and that's part of your muscular system as well. So your muscular system, movement, muscle movement. Skeletal system, support. So remember, skeletal support. Respiratory system, breathing system. Circulatory system, your transport system. Nervous system, your control system. All right, so these are just, let's hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the basic systems. You also have, we'll talk about later, digestive system, which we'll talk about in a little while. You also have an excretory system, which kind of goes with that. As well, and your urinary system is like a part of your excretory system, and then your endocrine system, which we kind of talked about before, lymphatic, that kind of thing. So they all kind of work together and go hand in hand. But these are just the little overview of the systems. And if you even want to write those things down, skeletal support, muscular movement, and you can write skeletal support, bones, muscular movement, muscles, circulatory transport, vessels and heart, blood, respiratory, the lungs, and breathing system and the lungs, the nervous system, control system, brain and spinal cord, nerves. So it kind of just helps you get all of those in your head in that way, kind of know those. All right, so that'll be all for today. Have a good day. I can't touch that.